Today on the podcast, we're looking at the best moments of 2024, including 6 new UFC champions. Also, who is the fighter of the year? I mean, there's really only 3 guys you could put in that category, but who's number 1? Also, maybe who's number 2 and 3, because it really comes down to who's number 2 and 3. You understand what I mean? And then some other major moments of the year outside of title fights, you got like Khamzat Chimaev against Robert Whittaker, of course, UFC 300, legendary fight, Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. So a lot of big moments in 2024. We're going to get to those next.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA Podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege.
What up? What up? This is your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the TCMMA Podcast. And we're here today to look at some of the best moments of 2024. I'm going to try my best not to look ahead, right? Because I tend to I like to look ahead and make predictions. You know that. But today is about looking in the rearview mirror and recapping 2024, arguably the best year on record for the UFC. I mean, it was just an incredible year. All types of records broken. I mean, the attendance when they're traveling is incredible. Sellout after sellout after sellout. Pay-per-views at an all-time high for the year. Especially when you got like UFC 300, you got 6 new UFC champions, right? There's a lot of reasons to watch the UFC this year. And see, already my brain's thinking of the future, like how many champions are we going to have next year? What's that prediction? But we're going to save that for the look ahead podcast when we look ahead to 2025. So I got to keep my mind in the rearview mirror. Do me a favor, get in the chat room. And if I get going on the future, remind me that this show is about the past, because I'm going to have a hard time with it today. But listen, we got a lot of reactions to get to, some of the best reactions of the year, right? There were a lot of good ones, but we're going to focus first on the 6 new champions that went down this year. And it got started early, right? It got started really early, thankfully. And it began, and I guess I never got these organized and resent myself the information, but that's all right. So we'll have to put it in, yeah, it is in order. All right, we're good. So it started early at UFC 297, the first pay-per-view of the year. This was between Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland, a very close fight that I believe was a split decision. But here's how it sounded live. If I had to make a prediction for how this is going to go, I'm going to say Sean Strickland's going to win the decision. It's about to get real. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's going to be split. 48-47 Strickland. Oh my God. 48-47 Duplessis. Oh my God. 48-47. Oh my God. Oh my God. And no! Let's go! Let's go! Yes! Yes! Dricus just stole the belt, baby. Dricus just stole the belt. What'd I tell y'all, man? We'll take the 6-6 night with the 2-0 in the main event on the year. Let's go. Wow. Wow. Dricus du Plessis steals the belt with a split decision. And just that drama for those last 5 seconds might have made the whole night worth it. I don't know. But Dricus stole the belt. He's 21-2. And he says, hey, I'm not fighting Khamzat. So forget about it. We'll talk about that next week. But for right now, Dricus du Plessis is pumped. He stole the belt. And Sean Strickland has fallen. Despite dominating the stats, Sean Strickland has fallen. South Africa is going crazy right now to have a middleweight champion here at UFC 297. Yeah, so Dricus du Plessis stole the belt, and people get on me for saying, "What do you mean he stole the belt? He won the fight." No, I'm just saying, like, when the challenger wins, to me, he stole the belt. He came in and took the belt. That's what happened. That's just a slang. Doesn't mean like the other guy was robbed. But oddly enough, we get the same fight just over a year later, as that fight's coming up, the rematch. And we're going to stay away from Khamzat right now because that's looking into the future, right? And I promised you, we're just going to focus on the past right now. So that was the first belt that fell. And, an incredible decision because those are and that's what, in my argument where we need a point system, that's the one thing we would miss is that drama, especially when it's a decision for the belt. Right? If someone wins the fight, you already know who won, right? If it's a finish, but when it's a decision, you're getting the and you don't know if they're going to say and new or and still. That is one of the best moments in sports. So that will be taken away with my argument, which is fine with me. But I do love that situation when you don't know. So Dricus du Plessis, first one to win the belt, he still has the belt, right? Then the next one would be Ilia Topuria. Right, as he finished Volkanovski, who came back really kind of on short notice. Check this out. Ooh, nice right by Topuria. Look out. Volk felt that one. Oh, Volkanovski goes down. He's out. It's over. Oh, my God. Ilia Topuria KO'd Volkanovski, and the run is over. The run is over, and this might be it for Volkanovski, man. 2 KOs in a row, and I mean, this is a KO. This is bigger than Makhachev's KO, and Ilia Topuria is going to be the new featherweight champion, and people are losing their minds in the crowd. And just like that, the run is over. We saw it with Usman getting dropped by Leon Edwards. We've seen it now with Ilia Topuria dropping Volkanovski, and things are changing, man, in the UFC. There's new champions coming. Dricus du Plessis steals the belt at 297. Now Ilia Topuria steals the belt at 298, and we were dead wrong on this one, but you know what? It is nice to see a new champion on some level, especially an undefeated champion. And, man, let's see this again because Volk is done. Volk takes a left. Yep, you felt that. Boom, big. Oh, he caught him with that right. Unbelievable. Yeah, man. Boom, left, right misses. Then continues with the right and catches Volk. And that's it. Wow. Unreal, bro. Come on, man. Bing. He missed with the right and then bing. Volk never saw it. Volk. Yeah, so back-to-back weeks, well, not back-to-back weeks, but back-to-back pay-per-view events on the year, the title switches hands. And it looked like that was going to be the storyline of 2024. And more than half the belts switched hands, or right around half. But we'd have to wait like 5 more months before it would happen again. The champion started defending the belt. And then at UFC 300, you had a bunch of big fights, right? So that depleted fights from UFC 300 all the way to like UFC 303 before they got back on track. And that's another reason you saw Alex Pereira so much this year. More to come on him in a minute. But the next belt that would switch hands would be Bilal Muhammad, who fought arguably one of the most impressive fights of the year when he beat Leon Edwards. Check this out. Here we go. Both guys come into the center. And here we go. It better be unanimous for Bilal. Like, no robbery here needed. Here we go. Oh, boy. 48-47. 48-47.
49-46. That's weird. It should be Bilal. Dana White's already walking over to him. And no! Bilal Muhammad is the welterweight champion, man. I cannot believe it. And there he is. He's crying. He's on the ground, kissing the ground. It's like the look on these guys' faces when they win the title for the first time is just unbelievable. And he's shaking now. You know he worked hard for it, man. Bilal Muhammad is the champ. Holy cow. 24-3. Takes down Leon Edwards. And Ian Gary better bring his wrestling game. Shavkat better bring his wrestling game. Colby better have been working for the last year since we've seen him. Like, if you're going to come in and challenge Bilal now, you better be ready for the ground game because it was just sick tonight. I mean, he just went off. And Bilal Muhammad comes into England and steals the belt from Leon Edwards. What could have been an almost perfect night ends in a bad way for England here at UFC 304.
Yeah, so Bilal Muhammad just with the takedown game, the pressure, the control time, easily was up 3-1 going into the fifth, and Leon Edwards needed to finish. He couldn't get it. And that's why you had 2 48-47s there, because that's the way the judges saw it as well. So that was UFC 304. Then at UFC 305, no title switch hands. UFC 306, there were 2 of them. Both of them switched hands in what would be one of the best cards of the year in terms of championship fights, right? So first, you had in the co-main event, you had Valentina Shevchenko in the trilogy with Grasso, and this would be another incredibly close fight. Check this out.
Listen, 16 minutes of control in 25 minutes. 8 of 12 on takedowns, 39-7 in head strikes, 44-18 in significant strikes, 197-124 in total strikes. She just absolutely took Alexa Grasso out of this fight. And for the first time since how many years ago? Think about this. How many years ago since the last time Valentina Shevchenko was heard and new, right? Think about it. How many years has it been since the last time she's heard? And new. Give it to him. And new. Yeah, give it to him. And new. Can we slow it down? Let me see if I can slow it down a little bit. No, that's speeding it up. See, it's been a while since we messed with it. And new. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's unanimous. It's unanimous. Let's go. And new. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. I don't care what nobody says. This was a boring fight. She held her down. I don't care. I don't care. I love it. Yes, sir. Okay, Shevchenko, back on top. Back on top. So she gets the win. She's going to move, what is it, 24-4. New women's flyweight champion. She deserves it. Very excited that she's back on top after winning this co-main event, women's flyweight division. She's probably going to cry here at UFC 306.
Yeah, so the fourth title changes hands. And she was the former champ, but still you get and new, right? So it's considered a new champion for the year. So that's 4. Then the same night, the next fight, right? Bantamweight title on the line, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. And I think a lot of people thought O'Malley would defend the belt here, but it didn't happen.
But Merab was definitely talking there the last 90 seconds. And he puts on the big wig and he's ready. Joe Rogan already ready to talk to him. Joe Rogan knows what's happening. Just give it to him. It's obvious. 49-46. 48-47. 48-47. Unanimous decision. And no. Rob sort of couldn't believe that. 2 judges, 48-47. And now Merab is breaking down a little bit. So I think all the tension is gone because now he got the belt on his waist and he's going crazy on his knees. And you realize in that moment, okay, I just accomplished the highest level. And then he hugs Aljamain and the coaching staff and things like that. And now the love is coming in. That's what I wanted to see. That's usually what happens. That's what should happen. So Joe Rogan talking to Merab Dvalishvili, but that's the way it goes, man. I had a bad feeling this could be the possibility. We go 5-5 on the night, lose the main event, but listen, still a great night at the Sphere. Great night at the Sphere. Merab Dvalishvili is a new bantamweight champion here at UFC 306.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure that out earlier in the day. I didn't end up looking it up, but which event was the Sphere, and it was UFC 306, and it's just crazy that both titles switch hands that night. So what a night to remember. And then you move forward to UFC 307, the very next pay-per-view event. You had another phenomenal women's fight between Juliana Pena and actually I forgot who it is. Let's just jump into it. Oh, it was Rockwell Pennington. That's right. Here we go.
As we await the decision, here's the stats, okay? Pennington 125 to 103 in total strikes. She also led in significant strikes 101 to 84. Head strikes, Pena still held on there, 82 to 78, so very close, and she was way up after round 3. She had 2 takedowns, 540 of control. Both of those came in the second and third round. So really, to me, it's all about round 1. And when you have fights like this, it always goes back to the weirdest round. The most insignificant round decides it. And that was the first round when they were just feeling each other out. And it was basically even at that point, but I have a feeling Pennington's going to get the win. So here we go. Possible split. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Pena looks nervous. Here we go. Come on, Pena. Come on, Pena. It's going to be split for the title. 48-47, Pennington. Or Pena, now Pennington. Final judge. Oh my God, 48-47. Close. Round 1, I'm telling you. And no! Yeah! Pena stole the belt and Pennington cannot believe it. She cannot believe it. Very close fight, and they hug it out, and they know how close that fight was. But Juliana Pena just stole the belt. And I know people get crazy when I say that, but when you're the contender and you win, you stole the belt, right? Because you got to steal the belt when you beat the champ. That's just how I feel. So Juliana Pena gets the win. That's the way it goes down here. Women's bantamweight division, new champion at UFC 307.
And that will be it, right? At UFC 308 and 309, no titles switching hands. So you had 6 new UFC champions in 11 divisions. 8 in the men's, 3 in the women's. 2 of the 3 women's changed hands. Zhang Weili held the belt throughout the year. In the men's divisions, you had 8 divisions, and 4 of the 8 switched hands. You had guys like Pantoja keep the belt, Sean Jones kept the belt, Alex Pereira kept the belt, and Islam Makhachev kept the belt. So those 4 retained the belt. So you had 5 fighters keep the belt. Which of those 5 will keep it this year? I think Pantoja's got a good chance, right? And there I go getting ahead of myself again. And, we'll save that for the next podcast, but you got 6 fighters coming into the year that had the belt for all of 2024. And I think Islam is the longest reigning champ right now. So, that's the way things look in terms of new champions. Now, fighter of the year, right? You've seen this reported, and we're not going to be much different, but number 3, in the number 3 position. And these are all champions. Dricus du Plessis won the belt early in the year, defended the belt. He's number 3. You win 2 title fights, you got to be at number 3. Ilia Topuria won the belt with an awesome KO against Volkanovski, then defended the belt with an awesome KO of Max Holloway, the first one of his career, and that's what edges him out at the number 2 position. But then at number 1, it's real simple. You got to go with Alex Pereira. I mean, you know, Colby Covington likes to say he's the company man. No, Alex Pereira is a company man. This guy fought 3 times this year. The UFC was depleted in terms of big fights after UFC 300. I mean, if you remember UFC 300, it was like, 13, right around there, 13 fights, straight down to the bottom was all huge names. And the UFC was then depleted because, those guys don't want to fight for 4, 6, 7 months. Pereira said, I'll step up at UFC 300, 303, and 306. So let's begin with the fighter of the year at UFC 300, right? The biggest event of the year at the time because it's UFC 300, right? And Pereira will go down as obviously a Hall of Famer because of what he did this year, but especially because when you look back, when they get to UFC 400, what are they going to replay? UFC 300, right? A night of unbelievable KOs. And this was one of them here in the main event. This is against Jamal Hill. Check it out.
Here we go. Come on, Jamal. You got to pick it up if you want to win this thing. And I'm predicting Pereira to win. I'm totally stuck in the middle on this one. Oh. A low leg kick, and Pereira shoves him back and says, no, get out of here. Oh, big left! Jamal Hill's in trouble. This is what I worried about for Jamal. And Pereira pounds away with the hammer fist, and it's over. And look at this. Herb Dean's got to push him back. Jamal Hill gets finished. And that's it. Jamal Hill says, why'd you stop it? But, no, I mean, I don't think he realizes what just happened. Pereira just rocked Jamal Hill and just kind of pounded away 5, 6, 8 times maybe. And Pereira's pumped up. And he's at his height right now. And now, like Pereira said, he's ready to go with 301. And if he gets a first-round finish, you never know. Could he fight Ankalaev at UFC 301? He could easily return in a month, whether they want him to do that or not. And he's getting a black belt. Wow. Unbelievable. And Alex Pereira with a dominant performance. Jamal Hill, had to take this fight, but probably came back too early, let's be real. And that's exactly what I figured would happen. You're going to see Jamal Hill at a different level in the next fight, just like you saw Yuri tonight. And Jamal Hill's not happy with this, but Pereira shoved off Herb Dean. And this is when Herb Dean comes in and says time, and Pereira says nope. Put his arm out and shoved him back, and Herb said okay. And right away, boom, lands a left within 2 seconds. And that's when Jamal Hill's in serious trouble. Look at this. Beam. And it only takes one. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he had him right on that left. Jamal Hill went down hard. And then he came in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And it was basically over. 7 hammers to finish it. Alex Pereira is the definitive champ. Unbelievable. He's 10-2. He'll retain the belt here, light heavyweight division. That was quick at UFC 300.
I mean, what else can you say? Alex Pereira is a beast. An absolute beast, man. An absolute beast. Just beat all the big names this year. So then you fast forward to UFC. He didn't fight at UFC 301 against Ankalaev. In fact, he would go the whole year and not fight against Ankalaev, right? But you fast forward to UFC 303, and he would fight Yuri. I believe this is the second fight, actually. So this goes down at UFC 303 just a few months later. I mean, Pereira is a company man, let's be honest.
See if Yuri's recovered. See if Pineda wants to bring it. Test him a little bit. Oh, big leg kick drops Yuri. And now he's dropping the hammers. Look at this. Yuri's in big trouble, and that's it. The ref pulls off Pineda, and this guy is ridiculous. And I don't know if Yuri knows what's going on. Wow. 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 Look at this. Boom. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Alex Pineda is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And still champion. Boom. That looked a lot like, I think it was Justin Gaethje on Dustin Poirier. A lot like that.
Yeah, so back-to-back finishes for him in successful title defenses, but guess what? He would do it once again against a fighter that actually proved to be the best matchup. People argued this fight, right? Khalil Roundtree over Ankalaev. Roundtree was like 7th in the division, but he gets the call and he steps up. He fought a good fight, but eventually, even as tough as he is, Pineda still broke him down.
Pineda's just a beast. Oh, this might be it. Alex Pineda, open it up now. This could be the beginning of the end. I'll tell you what, Khalil has heart, man. Khalil has heart, but he's like one punch away from going down. There's a right. There's a body shot, and that's going to probably be it. Khalil goes down, and that's it. And Pineda tries to go in for more. He gets pulled off by the ref, and Alex Pineda retains the belt. But dang, I'll tell you what, the story of the night is Khalil Roundtree, too. I mean, Alex Pineda is a ridiculous champ. Oh my goodness gracious. Alex Pineda is ridiculous, man. He's going to move to 12-2. And he withstood he withstood a barrage from Khalil Roundtree, right? He withstood it. And just over time broke him down. But Khalil Roundtree has tremendous heart. Tomorrow, or whenever the rankings come out, Khalil Roundtree should be 3 or 4. But that's not how it works. It's crazy. Unbelievable. So listen, that's a wrap, man. Alex Pineda retains the belt, KOs Khalil Roundtree. Basically KOs him into submission with 27 seconds left in round 4. But Khalil Roundtree held in there for nearly 20 minutes with one of the baddest dudes on the planet. And had chances in rounds 2 and 3, but couldn't get the job done. So Alex Pineda wins, 12-2. Still champion, baby. Light heavyweight division. UFC 307.
But you did see at points in that fight that Alex Pineda is not unstoppable. Like, if he gets hit like he did against Adesanya, he could fall. But again, Khalil Roundtree just couldn't make it happen. He fought a good fight, but that solidified it. I mean, it was a wrap after UFC 307. Forget 308 and 309 and 310. Doesn't matter what happened. Pineda had 3 successful title defenses, all wins by KO, and that makes him the 2024 landslide fighter of the year. I mean, landslide. There's no argument this year over who is the fighter of the year. I mean, everyone that does this stuff, ESPN, whoever, individual everybody, if anyone says it's not Alex Pineda, just turn it off, because there's going to be somebody that wants to make a name for themselves that's going to be like, this other dude was fighter of the year. No. Alex Pineda, landslide fighter of the year. Then you had we got the 6 new UFC champions. We covered that. We showed you the reactions to the 3 KOs by Alex Pineda. But then you had some big individual moments on the year, right? And 2 of them were the biggest for me. So I'm just going to begin first with Khamzat Chimaev making the epic return. Remember, he was going to come back against Robert Whittaker. He couldn't fight. Robert Whittaker ended up taking another fight, getting an easy KO. So it's like, okay, we know Robert Whittaker's for real. But then finally, Khamzat gets in the octagon. And I hate waiting, but the wait was well worth it. Check this out.
Khamzat still has the back. Oh. Khamzat nearly with the rear. Robert Whittaker working around. He still has the back. And Khamzat just dominating the ground game. Come on, Hamza. Go for the finish here. Crowd chanting Hamza. Of course, it's in Abu Dhabi. So he's heavy favorite. Robert Whittaker getting booed on the way out. And this is all Hamza right now as he pounds away. Ooh. Oh, he gets underneath. He tapped. That's it. Let's go. Let's go. What'd I tell y'all, baby? What'd I tell y'all? Come on. Give this guy a title fight. What? That looked like a neck crank. Robert Whittaker shaking his head. Let's go! And something's wrong with Robert Whittaker's jaw. As they shake hands, Khamzat Chimaev with the sub, baby! With the sub! Round 1! We don't need 5 rounds, baby! Woo! Woo! Best fighter in the world, bro. Now what y'all talking about? Talking about crisscross. Why you always talking about Hamza? We haven't seen this guy fight in a year. What do you... Listen, when this man gets in the octagon and he's 100%, nobody can beat him when he's at his best. And as soon as he got that neck crank in, Whittaker tapped immediately. And Whittaker starts grabbing at his jaw immediately. And this fight is a wrap, baby. And the celebration is on. The celebration is on, baby. I don't care who wins the next fight. I hope Max Holloway wins, but I don't care, man. I'm so freaking excited right now. Let's go, Hamza. He did it, baby. Get this man a title shot. Get his man a title shot. Khamzat Chimaev remains undefeated at 14-0 here. Middleweight division, UFC 308.
Yeah, and for me, that's the moment of the year, right? Hamza winning in dominant fashion against a guy, Robert Whittaker, who just beat Aliskerov in dominant fashion. And that guy's virtually undefeated coming in because he only lost to Hamza, right? So Whittaker beats him, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, he's going to dust off Hamza. Okay. So that was definitely, for me, as you can see in the reaction, the biggest fight of the year for me. He's number 1 on the do list for a reason, and the do list is something we got to take a hard look at before we present it. We'll do that in the look ahead to 2025 and really dive into that. But the top 3 guys won't change, and that'll be a big story on the next podcast, right? Is Alex Pereira, John Jones, and Hamza. I think they all end the year as champions, and maybe one of those fights, Hamza will beat Dreykus or Sean Strickland. It won't matter. And then, if they give it to him, that's the big question. He better get the title fight in 2025 or people are going to go bananas. But then if John Jones beats Aspinall and Alex Pereira beats Ankalaev and Hamza wins a title, that's why those 3 guys are in the dude list, because it's not pound for pound. It's like a prediction of the future combined with who I think is the best fighters in the world. And any one of those 3 guys fighting each other will be ridiculous. Likely not Hamza, though, right? Because he's going to have to defend the belt a few times and all that. But, all 3 of those guys, to me, are the best 3 fighters in the world because they're at the highest divisions. And I trust me when I tell you, Hamza can easily go up to light heavyweight. No problem. But from the fans' perspective, I would say the next clip is arguably the best moment of the year, right? And we got a few people weighing in. 49ers faithful forever saying, yo, yo. Shock Nation saying, yes, sir. Right? Weighing on in. 49ers faithful forever came back and said Hill is salty. Talking about Jamal Hill. Yeah, and you saw Jamal Hill approach Alex Pereira in the gym at, I think, the UFC, whatever the complex is called, where they work out, and he's trying to, he's just trying to stir up a rematch. And Pereira's like, it's like from Pereira's perspective, it's like, dude, I wiped the floor with you, man. What are you doing? Let's just be cool. Let's be like Oliveira, man. We're not enemies. We're opponents, But Jamal Hill's got something to prove. But yeah, he's definitely salty. So the next clip at UFC 300, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, you guys all know the story, where Holloway gets the finish with 1 second left. And this is what it sounded like live. And I mean live because we're on the watch party. This is happening, obviously. I mean, they all are, but especially this one is happening in real time. And we just think it's going to a decision. But we were mistaken.
And Max Holloway seems to be cruising to victory, though. He's got another minute to go. I mean, we're literally seeing it. Oh, my goodness. Let's go, Max. Let's go, Max. Keep it going now. Get out of there. And Max Holloway just pulling away, doubling up Gaethje, 148 to 70 in significant strikes. I mean, it's crazy. This is crazy. Unreal. Max lands another left-right combination. Gaethje really slowing down now, just basically just trying to get to the finish of this fight. That's all you can do is just get to the finish of this fight. But if you're Max, just stay out of trouble. Another spinning back kick. It's incredible. .45 seconds left. Oh, big right by Justin. It's like the KO power, even though you're watching him get dominated by Max Holloway, the KO power is always there. So it's like if you're Max, you just got to get across his finish line. Ooh, Max comes forward a flying knee. And every time you think Justin's just about to overpower Max, Max does something wild. Spinning back kick, flying knee. I mean, it's incredible. Final 13 seconds of this fight. What an incredible fight here. We're in the final. There's a tap. There's a tap. Oh, look at Max. He's saying they're standing right in the middle. He don't care. Look at this. He drops Gaethje with 1 second left. Max Holloway finishes Gaethje with 1 second left, bro. This will go down as the most epic performance in UFC history. I'm telling you right now. Holy crap. Not only is this stunning because he's not expected to win, but he finishes Gaethje with 1 second and says, come forward. Like, he's winning the fight. All he's got to do is run away, okay? He's saying, come to the middle, come to the middle. And then whop, 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 boom. Gaethje goes right down. And I don't even know if the ref had time to stop it because it was at 1 second, but it was clearly like Gaethje's out. You got to give him the KO. Oh, my gosh. He's up 4-0, and he's taking that chance, and he's like in there. Dude, bro. Dude. We got a major problem in the lightweight division. Look at this replay. Bomb, 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 bomb. Woo. Look at this. Look at this. Boom. Woo. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Dude, we got endless conversations to have about the lightweight division. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. 3, 2. This is really slow motion. He hit him at 2 as it's going to 1. Gaethje's down and out at 1. And the clock never hits 0. Oh, my gosh. And look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan almost left the commentating booth to go into the fans. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, my gosh. Unreal. I can't believe I just saw that. The night could end right now. We've seen it. I mean, that's all. The night could end right now. That's incredible. Max Holloway finishes Justin Gaethje at the bell. Lightweight division. UFC 300.
Yeah, so I mean, and you see all the several clips from UFC 300. That just ended up being an epic night, a night to remember. It's 300, right? It's 100, 200, 300. You know, we got years and years to go before we get to UFC 400. I mean, you're talking like 2030. So on an incredible night to see all those finishes, that's exactly what you want to see. Then fast forward to UFC 306 at the Sphere, you had 2 titles change hands. I mean, the storylines from 2024 are absolutely incredible, and you just know it's going to get better because now all of a sudden you have 6 new UFC champions. How many of them are going to hold on to the belt? How many fighters like Islam and John Jones and Pereira, guys that you just don't think are probably going to lose? Which one of those are going to fall? Or will the future next year be more like a year where a lot of the champions just continue winning? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And again, we'll get to that in a look ahead to 2025 on the next podcast. But that's what 2024 looked like. I mean, it was an absolutely wild year, a year to remember. And glad we were able to capture all of it. I mean, when we were looking up, you know, the new UFC champions of 2024 and going through all the old clips, we had every single one of them. So for us too, it's just a great year to be able to capture all that. But definitely looking forward to 2025, man. Got the new studio being delivered today, right? And you say delivered, what are you talking about? It's actually going to be in a shed. And it's going to look a lot like this, you know, still the black background. It's not going to look much different. But bottom line is we're going to have our own little space. A lot of times we were doing the reactions like in the living room. So there's people walking by, you know, not looking at me, but just, you know, I'm not my total self, even though in the clips it looks like I was, you know. So, I mean, you know, listen, we do what we got to do. But finally getting our own little space, that's going to be exciting. And it's going to lead to a lot more productivity for us in terms of the show, the fight reactions, all that. So look forward to 2025 being a great year for the TCMMA podcast, a breakout year. We just passed 5,000 subscribers. That was another milestone for us in 2024. So thank you all for being a part. Thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you become a subscriber. I mean, we're pumping out every fight of the year and giving you the predictions. And we're already working on 2025. I mean, we've realized after 2024 the importance of being ahead. You know, for so long we were doing fight picks for that week every week. Now we're starting to get a month, 2 months ahead in some of the big fights, and it's just leading to more views. And it totally makes sense to do it that way. So we're going to continue on that front and really use the next month to just start pumping out predictions. That's why today I wanted to get to this podcast, get it over with. And as soon as I click end podcast here in a few seconds, it's totally a look ahead to 2025. It's all about the future now. But 2024 was an awesome year. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. We'll be back very soon. This is your boy, Chris Cross. This is the TCMMA podcast. Have a great day and God bless. As always, peace.